All right, welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here. This is bullwords.org, and if you haven't been here before, welcome. I'm going to go through the markets and view it from an Elliott wave perspective, so a pattern perspective rather than anything else, really. Without further ado, let's get into the markets. I'm going to go through the dollar FX first, the main dollar FXs, excuse me, and then after that we'll get into stocks and precious metals and stuff. Okay, I was thinking about adding some of the big stocks in, so the Facebooks and the FANGs. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that next week. Who knows? So I think there probably will be a good barometer for the overall kind of enthusiasm within the market. Anyway, that's a side thought. Let's get on to the pattern at play. Okay, this is euro dollar. As usual, here's the daily count. I've been tracking this three-wave pattern lower. At this point now, it's a never-ending three-wave pattern lower. We're not making any headway to the downside, but we're not. It hasn't turned up yet, and that's the key point. The key takeaway from this week is we haven't turned yet. Okay, so I think we've got a solid five-wave pattern down in wave C. So wave C in blue there. We've got wave 1, 2, 3, expanded flat wave 4, wave what seems to be an ongoing wave 5. I think this could be viewed as an after this large spike lowered earlier on in the week. This is probably a three-wave pattern up now, and you'll see that on the hourly count here. So we've got an A, B, C. It doesn't jump out at you as a three-wave pattern either, but given the fact that we had this waterfall move to the downside, we nearly took out the low. We still actually haven't taken out the low yet interestingly enough, of wave 3, so it's very close. We'll probably take it today, I suppose. It looks like we've got a fourth wave in, and now we're probably going to move to a lower low in wave 5. I suppose we could say that we will fill this trend channel. I'm looking at the low 114s now for wave 5 of C of D to complete. So we'll see how that goes next week. It looks, at the moment, this is probably a 1-2, and we're heading down into wave 3. Depending on the pattern that this takes, maybe it'll be a wedge. Maybe we'll start closing the range here of this decline again. At this point, all we have to do really is break 115.23, and then we're done, or 115.20, and we're done in terms of the minimum expected decline for wave 5, but we'll see how this pattern unfolds in wave 5 early next week. So let's move on. Pound dollar has moved down as I thought it would earlier on this week. We've moved impulsively lower, which suggests that we are moving into a third wave down. Now, I know that this kind of this diverges from what is actually happening in euro dollar right now. You can see on euro dollar, I'm expecting, let's say, 500, 600, 700 points maybe of a rally in wave E. If we get up to the previous B wave high, that'll be about 700 points. We'll see how it goes. It doesn't have to be that high either. But on pound dollar, we have actually turned impulsively lower. So it looks like pound dollar our cable is actually moving into the next downtrend quicker than euro dollar. So we'll see how that goes. Here's the hourly count. We've got a running flat wave wave 2, and that's wave C of 2, which completed pretty much a truncated five-wave pattern. We did not break to a new high, and it was actually truncated as well because wave 5 did not break above wave 3. So we ran out of steam on the rallying cable, and we've turned lower impulsively. We've traced out a nice five-wave pattern with an extension in wave 5. So we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down into the lows. So this whole wave 1 here has more or less taken out the previous wave C. So wave 1 and C are equal in length. So it kind of cleans up the wave count from now on. So we should finish up wave 1 and correct in wave 2. Actually don't expect a whole lot in terms of a wave 2 correction. If we got back into the range of the previous fourth wave, that'd be about 136.30 or so. That would do it, I think, for wave 2. So we go up in 3 waves next week, and then we should hit an acceleration lower in a third of a third maybe by the end of next week. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so dollar yen, we are again, I'm looking for a bottom in euro dollar, looking for a top in dollar yen. The action off the recent top, so that's 114.67, does not. And it can be viewed as impulsive, but it hasn't accelerated lower yet. So we seem to be just oscillating around this 50 MA here. We'll see how. At the moment, it looks like a triangle. I'll show you that in the hourly count. So maybe we have a fourth wave here. This could be wave 1, 2. So if I was to extrapolate that, let's say, if we were to move wave C here, if we were to get some trend lines on that move, you will see what I'm talking about. So we've got a possible, a B wave triangle, and then we've got a wave 1, 2, 3, triangle fourth, and maybe one last pop in wave 5 of C of B before we turn down in wave C. You can see that on the hourly count now. That's what I've switched it to. So we've got a wave 3 high at 114.68. Then we've got a 3 down in A. It's not ideal as 3 up in B, but if we're going to count this as a triangle, this is 3 up in B. So 3 up in B, 3 down in C, 3 up in D, and possibly 3 down in E already completed at 113.49. Not exactly ideal, the action overnight. So it does look like a 3-wave move higher. If that's the case, then we may have to either change the pattern that's operating in wave 4. So it could be a combination wave 4. So we've got some sort of a, let's say, 3 down in A, triangle B wave, and then another drop down into wave C. But at the moment, it counts as a triangle. Like I said, that might change today. Even if it does, we'd probably expect one more run in wave 5 to a minimum of a break of 114.68. So you could call it a minimum of 115 before topping out wave 5 of C of B. So that's the idea next week. Let's see if we can get wave 4 done today and move higher into wave 5. Okay, so stock market. This is the 4-hour count. Now I'm operating on two different kind of this at the moment. This would be, we'll call it the alternate count, even though I have it marked differently. Let's get rid of you there. We'll mark it cleanly as the 4-hour count as the alternate count. So there is a possibility that we are tracing a third of a third and completing a third of a third right now. So if we have this very strange running flat wave 4 in green here, so that would be 3 down in A, 3 up in B, and then a strange 5-wave pattern down in C, which failed to make a new low, so it's a running flat correction. And then off that we have a wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then a series of 4th and 5th waves should follow if this count is correct. And we're probably looking towards 37,000 for this to complete. Okay. Now, on the hourly count, I'm operating a different count. It's a WXY correction, or a complex correction. It's 3 down in A, 3 up in B, and then a triangle to complete wave 4. So that wave 4 completes at the 33,800 level. So it's above the current level that I'm showing at. And you'll see that right now. So it's a triangle, contracting triangle wave 4, or wave C of 4, and then we have a 5-wave move up off that. So that's the alternate count, right? Or that's the main operating count. And the reason it's the main operating wave count is because we have a clean 5-wave pattern pretty much in place right now. We're trying to polish off the last, let's say, the ending moves within wave 5 of 5, so wave 5 pink. So that's the contracting triangle wave C to complete wave 4, or wave WX. If you're going to mark it a WXY, so that's a wave Y of 4. I just don't ever use it, to be honest. If that's the case, then we have a 5-wave pattern complete off that low. And if we have a 5-wave pattern complete, then we are now at the end of this particular wave pattern. Now, I'm using this wave pattern because it is the closest it's the, let's say the near, it defines the nearest term top for this market. So we should be able to, if this is not correct, then we should be able to sweep it out of the way pretty quickly and move on to that count that I showed you on the 4-hour chart here, and that will allow us, a larger fourth wave and a larger fifth wave up. So we'll see how that goes. For right now, I'm operating on this, let's say, most bearish. I'm trying to clean out the most bearish ones first, or clear out the most bearish ones first. This is the most bearish count, and we'll see how it goes next week. If we move impulsively lower, then this one will get a vote of confidence, and we'll see how that flushes out in terms of what sort of a drop we get after this. If we do get a nice, let's say a drop back down below this fourth wave low here, that will be, hey, a nice signal that maybe we are in fact topping. Okay, let's move on. Here's gold. This is gold 4-hour count. This is the alternate count still stands in my mind, really. This is the daily count, shows the alternate. So it's a 3 waves down, a triangle B wave, and then in that case we would expect another decline down in wave C, and we could even break below the 1500 level if that's going to come to fruition. Now, I'm not banking on this one. It's there. I'm posting it every night just to keep myself reminded that this is a possibility. I think the most near-term confirmation of the bullish count would be a break of 1835. Now, that might happen today, and maybe I can sweep this out of the way and just concentrate on that bullish count. But for the moment, this is still a possibility. Okay, so there's the 4-hour count. We could see the possible fourth wave low in place with wave 1 and 2 and a wave 1-2 pattern now done. And maybe we're moving higher into a third wave. So let's see how that's playing out. So here is this is the most bullish option for gold at the moment. I like the form of the decline, the form of the rally off the recent low. This week we were looking for this wedge pattern to complete with a break of that 1760 level. We got the nice spike down with just a very slight break below the previous wave A. It didn't even have to, but it was a nice way to finish it. We got a touch of the lower trend line, and then we spiked out of it quite nicely. So it looks like an impulsive rally so far. So this should end up being a 5-wave rally. It would be ideal if we broke above 1813. If we did, that would really be the first step along the way of confirming the most bullish count. Because right now, it's a series of 1-2s. So we've got wave 1 in green, wave 2 in green, wave 1 in blue, wave 2 in blue, and now wave 1 in pink and wave 2 in pink expected. So we could be heading into a third of a third rally over the next week or so if this count is correct. And if this count is correct, then we could this third of a third could easily push us back above $1,900 pretty quickly. So I am, let's say, hopeful, but I don't have blinkers on here. So there is no reason yet to rule out the bearish alternate. Until I do get that break of 1835, well then it's there, and I'm not going to forget it. Okay, let's move on. Here is, let's shift these charts over. Here's the crude oil count. It looks like still I prefer the idea that we have corrected off the top. We had this interesting pattern yesterday, and then again another real kind of vigorous sell-off, which seems to have come to a halt right now. But I'll show you that in the short term. On the short-term pattern. Right now, it looks like we've got a wave 1-2 extended third wave, 3 waves down in wave 4, and then we should expect wave 5 of 5 to come along next week. So the hourly count is expecting that count to remain viable. So right now we've got three waves down in A, a running flat wave B, and then a nice impulsive spike lower to complete wave C. Not sure if we're done with wave C yet, but we'll see this. We will know probably by tonight if wave C is done, and then we should move higher in 5 waves next week to break at least $85 again. I wouldn't be surprised to see $90 actually in crude oil. Just the kind of persistence of the inflation narrative is taking, well, it's counterintuitive actually in terms of the the droning that's been going on in terms of the inflation, and even speak of hyperinflation lately. So when you hear people speak of hyperinflation, then I think it's time to start looking the other way. You remember that's exactly what they were saying back in 2008, and oil topped out and crashed. So oil doesn't like hyperinflation, obviously. It collapses when it hears it. So we've got 3 waves down in wave 4. I think we'll get another rally in wave 5 of 5, unless things change in the medium term, or in the next couple of days. I'd expect an impulsive move later on today or Monday to take out that B wave high. So that's about $82 again, $82.60, let's say. And that will confirm that wave 5 up is underway. So let's see how that goes next week. Okay, here's the S&P. This count is actually a little cleaner than... there's a couple of variations that we could do on it, but it's a little cleaner than the count on the Dow. And we have filled the channel now. So you can see this Elliott channel is now done. We have a line from the lower line of the channel from wave 2 to wave 4, then projected off the wave 3 high. We've got a 5-wave rally up to pop above that. So we've got a slight throw over in effect right now. That 46.66 level was where I thought that the 5th wave would come in contact with the upper trend line. We've hit above that now. We're at 46.90, so it likely will hit 4,700 now, seeing as it's just there, and it's psychological round number that the algorithms like to go for. They just aim for round numbers and they hit them and then fall. So we should, I would say, if this count is correct, then we're very close to this final high. There is an alternate for this, but at the moment, again, with the same kind of mentality as the Dow, once I clear this one out of the way and it's viewed, it's ruled out, then I'll move on to the most likely alternate. And that most likely alternate is just a variation on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th waves here. So we'll see how that goes next week. Right now, this pattern's full, and we will see soon enough whether it's correct or not. Trend channel's full. We've got that nice divergence on the 4-hour chart against the price. It's actually in place now for the last 10, 15 days now. So 15 days. So we've got bearish divergence in momentum. We've got a little throw over above the trend channel, a fill trend channel, a full wave pattern. So what's next? The hourly count here shows this final 5th wave in blue. So we've got wave 1 and 2. The extended channel, or let's say the channel around. No, I should fix that a bit there now. The Elliott channel suggests we're coming to an end here. Also, obviously, this is not an absolutely ideal form here, but it is let's say the closest to a full pattern, and I'm going to work with that until it's ruled out. So we've got wave 1 and 2, the lower line of the channel. Actually, the lower line of the channel should be closer. So this is getting quite tight here. Wave 2 and 4 connected, projected off wave 3, and the trend channel is nearly full. If we do get a spike up to the 47.40 level, I suppose that's where we would come in contact with that 47.40, 47.50. That's where we would touch that upper trend channel line. Right now, the action off the wave 2 low is so thin and unidirectional that I don't think we'll actually make it to that. Maybe we will, I don't know, but it seems it's very formulaic, this rally, and it's on declining breadth, declining momentum. We've got a full pattern. You'll see wave 5 pink here is actually even full, so we've got 5 up in wave 1, wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 3, maybe a small fourth wave there. It's hard to know yet. And then a pop this morning in the futures. Maybe that's wave 5. We'll see how today's trade goes. If we collapse today, all the better as far as I'm concerned, but we'll see how that goes. A full pattern, and as I mentioned on the 4-hour chart, a filled trend channel, a throw over at the top, very significant divergence of price and momentum. So let's see how it goes. We're done here as far as this count is concerned anyway. Okay, here's silver. We have a bullish 1-2 pattern pretty much in place this week. We hit the 50% retracement level, and now we seem to be bouncing what seems to be impulsive anyway at the moment. On the hourly count, you can see that we've got that 5 waves up, wave 1. It's not the most ideal 5-wave pattern, I will grant you that, but it is there. We've had retracement just down below the 50% retracement level in wave 2, so we've got 3 waves down. We have 5 waves within wave C of 2, and now what seems to be happening is a 1-2 pattern up off that level. If this is correct, then we are set to rally next week in wave 1 of 3. And that wave 1 of 3 should probably push us up to about $25 again before correcting in wave 2. So we'll see how that goes next week. The alternate count here isn't as clear as gold, to be quite honest. The daily count here shows a possible low in for wave 2 and an impulsive pattern in place off that low. So if the daily count is correct, if we are actually done in wave 2 here, and if we are done in wave 2 here, then we should be seeing a significant rally and sustained rally in wave 3 over the coming months. And this wave 3 could, I'm going to qualify this again. If this is correct, if this count is correct and we don't have a new low to make in wave 2, well, then we could see wave 3 possibly double prices over the next 4 or 5 months, and that wouldn't be completely out of bounds at all whatsoever. Okay, so hold that in mind, and I would just caution and say keep the alternate count in gold in mind also, because we haven't ruled that out just yet. Okay, so that's silver. Let's get on to this very slightly interesting pattern in the short term in Bitcoin. So we have this 4th and 5th wave possibly in place. Now the decline into wave 1, what I'm looking at is a possible wave 1-2 scenario. It's got a bit messed. It's a bit messy over the last couple of days, so I'm willing to relook at to review this over the next day or so in terms of a triangle. So we do have that contracting range in place. Now, if we do break to a new low below that 58,000 level, then that'll probably suggest that wave 3 is underway. If not, if we keep this range and we start to push higher again, that'll probably suggest that this 4th wave is actually has turned to, or let's say taken the form of a triangle rather than that little shallow blip that we saw last October or early October. So right now, Bitcoin is narrowing. There is a possibility opening that we do have one more push up in a 5th wave. So we'll see how that goes over the next couple of days. I've said that a couple of times this week. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to use another ending term instead of we'll see how it goes. I was looking at FTSE as well. There's an interesting pattern that has come into play out of a triangle. So if we go to the 4-hour count, Again, we have this long-term triangle that happened during the year. We have a wave 3 top and then an ABCDE triangle into the low in early October. And 3 waves down completes the triangle, and then we move up in 5 waves off that triangle again. So if we go to the hourly count here, you can see the triangle low here has wave E, and then we've got wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in wave. I think that's probably a triangle as well in wave 3. So we've got 5 waves up in wave 3, and then we've got an ABCDE triangle, wave 4, and then 1, 2, 3, possible 4th and 5th on the way to complete 5 waves up out of a triangle, which is interesting again in terms, when you view it in terms of the US stock market. It's a complete pattern. On the DAX, go to the daily count of the DAX, I have been of the opinion that the move higher in the DAX has been a B wave rather than a 5th wave, which still stands actually, because it seems to be, a nice A wave up, a large, let's say a sustained correction in wave B, and then a nice 5 wave pattern higher in wave C again. It looks like we're probably pushing out of a 4th wave again. So we've got this extended 4th wave correction over the last couple of months, and we're pushing higher out of that again. So if that's 5 waves up done in wave C, so this would be wave C of B. So we've got A, B, C in B, and then we should see 5 waves down, a complete and utter crash as well. And I say that so sanguine. All right. That's it. Thanks so much for hanging around, watching, looking at the charts. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in nightly updates, get over to the website, bullwebs.org, and check out the offers there. Next week, I was planning on doing an introductory week for people who are interested. So maybe if you're interested, give me an email. Apart from that, I've given you the bad news in the market. I'm going to give you the good news for life, eternal life. If you're interested in eternal life, not just profits, maybe you should check out the ABCs of salvation. We're all going to die. We're all going to shuffle off this mortal coil eventually, maybe sooner rather than later. You don't know when that's going to happen. And if it happens this week, you can't say I didn't tell you. You're going to stand in front of God. Either you are going to represent yourself in that court of judgment. Either you're going to, atone for your own sin, or you're going to let God atone for your sin. So, admit, believe, and confess. That's it. It's not religion. I don't profess religion at all. As far as I'm concerned, Jesus came here to destroy religion. There is no way that man can make up, there's no way that man can strive their way to God. It's utterly impossible. So you just let God do the work. And he has done the work. Jesus has come, died for your sin, and he's given you that as a free gift. All you have to do is accept it. It's not religion. It's nothing else. It's just relationship. On that note, God bless you all. Have a great weekend. To everyone on the website, all the members, I'll see you tonight for tonight's update. And everybody else, I will see you somewhere. Okay, bye-bye.